Hey kids, Adam Savage here in my cave, and I have just completed a giant project. And one of the things that happens after you complete a giant project, one of the things that happens after I complete a giant project is I often have a little bit of like postpartum down feelings. Yeah, when I have pushed all my energy into a thing for a few weeks, completing it and like putting it off to the side, yeah, often leaves me feeling down for a few days. It is like the post-push mood swing. So I'm in that state right now, and I'm like looking around my shop. I've been cleaning up a little bit and sort of like putting some things away and tackling some things that needed tackling, but nothing feels great. So I figure I'll tackle the Ecto goggles. Right, you saw it on the title of this. So clearly you knew what this was going to be about. Yeah, I'm going to make a really nice pair of super lightweight, durable Ecto goggles for my Ghostbusters getup. Many moons ago, I did a vacuform project where I made some of these, and I'm very happy with how the sample came out. I've got a couple of thicker ones. I'm going to pull them, support them, paint them, dress them, and yeah, we'll get some Ecto goggles out of this. Don't know how much talking I'm going to do. Don't know how much talking I feel like doing, but yeah, we'll get this. Here we go. I think this is the base. Oh, look, I've already done some repair on it. Good. Oh. Oh. tight. Well, it's going really well. Just to remember, I started with this. This is my vacuum form buck of the eye cup from Ghostbusters, the night vision goggles cup. That's from Ghostbusters. I turned it into something like that. Well, first that's a raw pull. Then I turned it into a nice eye cup. I took one and I strengthened it. Here it is. So I added strengthening around that lip. I polished it up. I gave it a coat of Tamiya Olive Drab 2, which is a gorgeous color. I'm very happy with it. I added snaps around, and I am now about to work on the strapping. I don't have a lot of eyepiece construction to show you because I made the eyepieces months ago. But we'll get those going in, and I'm very pleased. Damn, I got it. Wow. I'm sorry that I made these earlier, but they were made on a lathe. They were turned. This is Delrin. This is entirely aluminum, and I actually even went so far as to hog out, to go in and hog out in the inside here, so it's light. I am really, really pleased with how these Ecto goggles look. I'm happy with how they feel. I'm happy with how they sit. They're light as a feather. And I just have to laser cut some glass for the eyes and weather these. And I might add a little bit of electronics in here. The fact is that I think I'm gonna troop in it like this. I think this is how it's gonna look. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for that look. I mean, I guess I could go with this, and then because I'll be wearing a mask, that would actually, yeah, see, but that's not how the Ghostbusters move through a building. They don't have the goggles down. They put the goggles down. Ray puts the goggles down when he's looking for something. I'm super happy with this. My vacuum forms took a lot of cleanup, but with the extra strengthening of this lip, it's a very durable prop. It's more durable than the cast resin one I previously had, and I think it looks awesome. I am going to go through and do a bunch of weathering on this. I'll do a bunch of weathering on this. I may go find a piece of rubber and replace the back of this with the kind of dive mask piece of gray rubber that the real ones had. But to be fair, like, this is totally sufficient. This is totally sufficient. I can hang this on my belt. Or put it on my... Oh, also, yeah, this piece, this liner, I cut it out of a cheap $20 pair of flight goggles from Amazon. These cost $20, $25. A perfect liner. I mean, I just used a little VHB, very high bond. That is dimensional tape. Yeah, you can see its thickness there. Yeah, so VHB is very high bond, VHB. It's very high bond tape. It sticks well. Hopefully, it looks like it's grabbing nicely there on the edges. We will see. But yeah, I'm very pleased with the result. I always say, like, I'm pleased. I never say it's perfect. Like, I'm always like, it's acceptable. That like everything is that way, right? Oh man, I cannot wait to put this whole thing together. It's just gonna be the best. All right, let's tighten this up just a little bit. Okay, that's it. Let's get this going. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's it. Nice, right? Yeah, man. Yeah, that is comfy. I mean, here, actually, let's take a quick gander. These are the Maddie goggles, the Mattel Ghostbuster goggles, and these are these are fabulous. They look great. They're just awesome. People sell sticker sets to make these more accurate, but they're heavy. They're actually quite heavy. I would have killed for something like this when I was a kid, and I'm so glad that Mattel made this. But definitely, like, I would, yeah. Oh, I would feel this over time. I'd say whatever the Mattel is, it's probably twice as heavy as this because it's all just empty plastic with no electronics or batteries. Yeah, I'm glad I've got these. These, yeah, when they're all weathered and I get some brass looking stuff going on there, it's going to be sweet. All right. I have this one part to make. Out at the ends of the lenses on the Ecto goggles are these guys. These knurled, they're like camera parts. Here is a casting of one. Yeah, it's not very pretty. And I want to make these. And I just did a sample. And I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm happy. It's a good sample. And it's I'm using a knurling wheel and I'm just pushing it into some aluminum. And then I'm going to drill and tap this out. I need to make 3 of these. And that is what I'm about to do. Yep. All right, let's relocate. So, there is a, this is this piece of 1/4-inch aluminum. Oh, I'm just going to make one of these at a time, and then I'm going to do the drilling and the tapping later. Yeah, that'll be a post operation. Let's see. Yep, about 1 inch out. So this is the knurling wheel, and it is a hardened steel wheel with horizontal grooves on it. And I'll give you a close-up so you can see how I'm doing this. It's not ideal. I prefer knurling can be done where you could just push the knurling wheel right into your work. And for bigger work, that totally is often sufficient. But for like sensitive work like this little guy, I want to be able to clamp down on it. And I've got knurling wheels that do that, but I don't have any straight wheels on them. I only have the diamond knurl pattern. So I'm just going to have to try this again and go real slow. So to do this, here, let me give you a better. Okay, so there's my 1/4-inch aluminum. I'm going to stick it out by about 1 inch. My knurling wheel, I've got it not perfectly horizontal, but set at a tiny angle. That just gives me a little better of a cut-in, I have found. So let's see here. I want to tighten this down. I'm going to turn it on, bring it in. There we go. So now I just put a little whey oil on there, and you see it's nice and, yeah, you want to keep this cool and slow. And now I'm going to put it on auto feed, which will move the cross feed really slowly. And I'm just adjusting the pressure until I feel like I've got lines that I like. Okay, let me get a little more oil on there. And when I stop, you'll see that I've got the knurls that I want, and I didn't push this bar too much that way. I'll stop it before it gets to the, before it crashes. I know, it's real close, but I'll stop it. Done. Yeah, I like that. So I am going to extend this out. It's going to come out a bit more. Do it again. So then I go back and I get it to line up with this. And the teeth should engage. And I'm going to bring it to the same spot I did before. There we go. And I'm just going to start the auto feed. Lots of oil. And again, I'll just do it until this gets almost close to the face. I didn't think I'd be able to do this with such a small piece of material here. And up and out and over. And done. Now, I know that when you're looking on camera, it may look to you like, like those lines are not perfectly straight. Doesn't matter. You won't notice it once I machine this down. So here we go. Starting again, and moving in. Moving on up like George and Wheezy. All right, I'm trying again. This time, here we go. This time, I'm going to hold on to this side of the equation with my chuck, and I'll hold on to this side of the equation, and I'll knurl the whole length. That should make it a lot easier. All right, yeah, here we go. I got a nice little bearing in there, and we're gonna bring it over. We're going to, there we are. So let's see here. Here's how this works. Great. Now, come back with the knurling wheel. And now we're starting to move. Oh, very happy. Very, very, very happy. Note, there's a specific difference in, come on, show me some focus. Show me some focus. So notice if you press at a medium pressure, you get more knurls, where if you press at a high pressure, you get less. I wanted to see this, so this is wonderful. All right, so now it's time for me to do some cutting and some drilling and some tapping. It is not the most beautiful knurl in the world, but it's nice looking. Yeah, it's a little bit of a slight helix. All right, we're gonna cut this on the bandsaw, tunk, 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 and then we're gonna smooth it out, put it in this guy, slice, slice, slice. Well, yeah. Aside from some laser cut lenses and actually one tiny bit of attachment to figure out how I want to put these on, it may be I put a little VHB around the lips of these. But what I have here, hey, come on. I don't want to see that. What I have here is completed scratch-built Ecto goggles. I am highly satisfied with my work. I think it looks great. I think it's a respectable trooping set of Ecto goggles. Yeah, and I may deal with the inside, but this build, we're dealing just with the outside. So it's time for weathering. We're going to separate out the strapping because that is a separate weathering pass. And then, yeah. It really, so on some of these, there's an extra snap here, but on some of them there ain't. And on this GB1 set of Ecto goggles and on this GB1 set of Ecto goggles, no button. Yeah, sorry, take a look. No extra button right there. So I'm going to assume they had several pairs, and I'm going with the OG set. So what I want to do first on this pass is do a kind of a dirt pass. Then I am going to do a, oh, you know what? Maybe first things first. Let me get a dirt pass on the strapping. This is a brush specifically for weathering fabric. And it's meant to just make tiny little tears. Ow! Ow! I gotta be more careful. We're gonna get a little, ooh. Yeah, I cut myself. All right, we're gonna get a little schmutz on here. Literally, schmutz. Schmear. This is a weathering wax that makes things look a little like they've gotten some grease on them. And that's great because you can do some stuff where it's like you figure out where it's gotten, you know, some grease. It's like right here where the hand grabs it. So I'm gonna get a little more over there. And then maybe take a little off, a little acetone. Okay, so I like the straps. The next pass is, let's do a little bit of a, yeah, let's bring this up a little bit. Nice. That looks like it's holding pretty well. Good. Okay. Okay. I'm going to also hit this with some weathering on the high spot. That's to kind of bring it down a little bit. Ooh, that's bad. All right, let's get a little glue on there. Most of this is not super visible on the first glance, but boy, does it really help to just take down that kind of new car feeling of the freshly painted thing. And it's mostly I'm just hitting every surface and every piece and slowly just kind of like, you know, your eye knows what it's looking at. And when you like clean up the top spots on some of these snaps, it really gets that there's been some abuse there. And I get the cap head screws, yeah. That's great, great. Okay, so let's close up the schmear. Let's get a little black paint going. All right. Here we go. I've got this kind of gray, and I'm just going to go in and kind of put it in and take it off. And again, this is just sort of like, yep, just sort of like a pass to sort of bring in a little bit of weathering, and then, you know, there'll be spots I can't pull it, grab it, take it off. Oh, one last thing. Right. Okay, so one of the other specific aspects is that the high spots on all of these snaps are brassy. They show brass through. And I didn't have any dark metal brass snaps, so I'm going to fake the brass undercoat. We are going to throw some rub and buff on there. Oh, yeah. Look at that. And then I'm going to get a little rub and buff on this rag here. And I am just going to hit the high spots of the snaps with the rub and buff brass. And what that does is it warms it up and makes it look like the right thing. Here we go. Let's get a little bit of rub and buff on the edges of the brass here, of the closures for the clasps. Just a little bit of warmth, just a little bit of warmth. That's all I need. Same over here. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. My Ecto goggles. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Oh, there we go. That's it. Yeah. What I particularly love is that, about this build is that this became this. Let's see. This became this. Became this. Became this. Super happy. Thank you guys for joining me for this really fun one-day build. Yeah, 2 days. It's a 2-day build, and we remember that this took a full day to do before, so it's really a 3-day build, but nothing exotic. Black styrene for the base of this, goggles liner from Cheap Goggles, Delrin for the eyepieces, aluminum for the other eyepiece. Yeah, a scratch-built Ecto goggles, one-day build. See you guys out there. Who are you going to call? These are great. I'm really happy with them. This, hopefully the VHB lasts on there. If it doesn't, I can probably glue it. These are also purchasable. You can purchase the liners for the original night vision goggles, but I haven't tried. Yeah, so I'll have some lenses put in those for trooping, but yeah. And I may eventually tackle the inside, but that's not in today's build. But I'm so happy with these. Yes.